I'm Cynthia Vaughn. I'm the owner of Equus Run Winery in Midway, Kentucky. In 1998, I opened up Equus Run to have something different, something very different than when I was at IBM. So I was at IBM for 31 years. My background is as an electrical engineer and dealing with computers and networks, and back then being large mainframes. Had the opportunity to spend a lot of my career in Europe as well as the West Coast and the East Coast. And with that said, is I had an opportunity to explore many other cultures and cuisines, and fell in love with the European culture of wine. When I finally came to an idea of coming back to Kentucky, I really wanted to go back into farming. Farming, I love dirt. I simply love dirt, and I love growing things. So alternative agriculture was really taking off, and that was in the early 90s. And then I worked on several task force with the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, and alternative crops such as pawpaws, pumpkins, sheep, lamb, as well as horticulture, shrubs, because of the tobacco industry, the demise of the tobacco industry, and then grapes came as well. So all of this alternative agriculture was really taking off, and I thought, that's what I'm going to do. And we originally had just started to only be a vineyard. We had also planted a lot of crops for the farmers market. So we thought, wow, let's grow crops and go to the farmers market. And I'm doing this all part-time because I'm working full-time at IBM, sort of flying out on a Sunday, flying back on a Thursday. But fortunately, I have a wonderful large family and lots of friends that were really putting their hard labor into helping this kind of grow and get established. So we did the farmers markets for about 3 years. And I soon learned that was probably not a career that I wanted to do. Getting up at 5 a.m. and cutting hundreds of sunflowers, or picking fresh pumpkins or pickles or cucumbers and things of that nature. And I thought, okay, we got to rethink this here. So the grapes, we planted the grapes, and it took a village to plant the grapes. It really did. So we planted 8-9 acres of grapes, all by hand. And after you dig a few thousand holes, you really appreciate the value of that vine, that you tend to it one time and it grows, and you have to nourish it and maintain it for its lifetime. So then we established the vineyard, and then we started having grapes. Well, with grapes, then we started processing the grapes. And we had smaller equipment then, and started, so we opened up with about 400 cases of our first vintage. That sold out within 9 months. We had no idea what the market was, the opportunity was. Fortunately, we found other grapes in northern Kentucky and Ohio. And from there, I say it's history, because we then contracted with 22 growers and really started the winery part, because the customers really voted their loyalty and their dollars to this new novelty business called an agritourism winery. And without the customers, we simply would not be here, not at all. We are so thankful for them. The day that COVID was announced in March was a day of reckoning, that we really, number one, were in shock that we received the notifications to close the business. And that next week, we were awaiting other directives and mandates on what could we do and what we should not be doing. So we had both the local health department, the CDC, and also our alcohol beverage control department as well, giving us directives on what we could and couldn't do. So that first week had to be the most quiet week. It was a ghost town. Everybody, I think, just ran home, bought everything off the grocery shelves, and just stayed at home, not knowing exactly what to expect. And we kept coming here. We kept coming here and looking out the windows and looking at the parking lots, and no one's here. It It was the second week that we decided, well, we can do these few things, and let's see how to make the best of that. What we did is we completely retrofitted our tasting room, that which I'm sitting in right now. We took out all the tables and chairs. We put up median dividers. We did the social distancing stickers. I staggered my staff schedules, so we only have 1 or 2 people in here instead of the 5 or 6 that we normally had. And we then said, well, okay, let's continue to pivot. So we knocked out a window and put in a drive-through window. We redid the front door so that we could keep it open for curbside service. We even got a golf cart, and we started delivering wine to our neighbors up and down the road. I never thought I would deliver in a golf cart to my horse farms, but I sure did, and they were so supportive. I'm so thankful for that. But the customers still came, and they trickled in because of fear. We all had fear. We didn't know really what this was yet. And that first month, we had to pivot and really change things up. So then we even bought a fogging machine, so we fogged everything down every couple hours. So it smelled more like a sanitary hospital than it did a winery. But that also made customers feel safe. They weren't allowed in, but we had an advantage in that we have 38 acres. And people felt comfortable going outside with their families and or couples and enjoying the 38 acres, all wearing their masks. We had not one issue in 15, 16 months, not one issue where people did not abide by the mandates. Everyone was super. Our customers, I just want to hug them because they were so wanting to support local and to support us, and no one batted an eye. They followed the mandates. They enjoyed themselves. We had no issues. We had no illnesses, and it's all because everybody was a team, and our customers were part of our team as well. With COVID, there was an opportunity for any employee to not come back to the workspace. Our jobs cannot be done remotely. Not even one job can be done remotely because we are serving a customer. We are delivering a wine, a package, a beer, a merchandise item. So we are in the sales transactions. I had a staff meeting via Zoom. In fact, we did Zoom meetings every 2 weeks, and keeping everybody informed and in constant communication. And I asked the staff, I said, okay, are you all comfortable if we stagger shifts, we take all the appropriate health measures, we continue fogging, cleaning, antiseptic everywhere? Are you all comfortable to come back and serve a customer? And they all voted yes. And I said, now, if we don't have a customer, are you also willing to do other things that need to be done? And they went, yes. Like, we are here, we want the job. So even though you might have been hired for retail, I had people doing mulching, painting, pruning, repairing wood, scrubbing tables, even power washing the side of a barn. We had them doing everything because we still had all those chores to be done. It's just that I didn't outsource it to other services. My staff raised their hand and said, we want the work, we want to still be here, we'll do anything. And they did. And that's a blessing. So at the onset of potentially opening up more, that was up to, I think, the 33% mark, that we were allowed to open up, we literally built a stage in 2 weeks. It's a 20 by 15-foot stage, but what we did was moved our indoor music that we normally would have, we moved it outdoors to the tasting room gardens. And we've been doing music for 18 years. That's our free Sunday music series. But we felt we did not want people in an enclosed environment, even though it's an open, covered patio, but the gardens are completely open, lots of large trees and all the flowers, the water fountain and the putt-putt green, and people fell in love with it. So we built the stage. We also put additional lighting and electric out there, and and even established Wi-Fi, because some people would be working from home while they're working from a winery, and they're outdoors, and they're able to bring their children and still have their laptop, conduct their work. Their kids are coloring, or they're putting on the green or tumbling in the grass, and it really blossomed with families. And we have never seen so many families as we have since COVID. And we've been here 23 years. And so families found us. And therefore, then we had to retrofit the facility because of all the little children. So we put up additional fencing. We had to child-proof certain artwork and things. And we just retrofitted things so that we could accommodate those small little legs everywhere and be safe. We also did another window on the patio, so now you don't have to come into the tasting room. You actually can just order from a window off of the patio, and that works as well. And we still have them both going, the drive-through window and the patio window, and all of the other little amenities outside for the children that they can play on and enjoy themselves and get outdoors and just enjoy nature and be safe. Yes, so we did participate in both of the PPPs. We were very conservative on the Paycheck protection program loans. We easily, because I kept everyone employed, it was easy for us to meet the match and the level of forgiveness. And we have achieved that with both PPP loans. After the pandemic, and we still are in the pandemic, but it's less of a pandemic, is what I say. We had to pivot, and that's really truly the operative word. We pivoted. We truly have become, number one, a very family-friendly business. That is a new business model for us. We have reached out in our marketing strategies and further opened our doors. We've never said, don't bring your children. It's just that people didn't bring children. But now we absolutely embrace families. We want the families to enjoy. And it's so fun seeing all these little legs everywhere. And they're flying kites, they're playing soccer, they bring their own badminton sets, they have picnics, they have afternoon teas. So we are also further developing another area here close to the tasting room, which is going to be more of a park-like setting, enjoyable for the smaller children activities, so they can get all that energy out of them. So that will be good. The next thing that we have done is we had a percentage of our product going to wholesales, which is your retail liquor store markets. But we're bringing that back in because we have become a destination, and that destination, we are selling all of our product here now on site, with the exception of maybe 2 places. So that's a different business model for us. And as we're moving forward, we're also going to be opening up our distillery activity. And we were going to do that last year, but due to the mandates, we could not. But we are now under construction with a new facility, which will have a new tasting room and other activities associated with distilled spirits and cocktails. So it's another business that we'll be launching. And in addition, we're bringing back all of our concerts, our large concerts. That's going to be fun, and we have many other fun things such as theater and ballet and Shakespeare and a variety of other activities that we haven't done for years, and we're bringing those back too. So the advice I would give someone, if they wanted to start a small business, is one thing. If you wanted to start a vineyard, that's another. If you you want to start a winery, that's another. But if you want to try to do all three, that's insane. But that's what I did. Not knowing exactly, 23 years ago, it was actually 24 years ago now, what this would grow to be. We did have a master plan. We did have a business plan. That's my IBM coming out of me. We definitely had our 2-year goals, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20-year goals. And we have actually achieved them all except one, which was building a much larger entertainment area. The legacy that I would hope to leave behind is that I was a pioneer in the industry of growing grapes and winemaking in the state of Kentucky. Back many years in the 70s, there was another winery that attempted to do such, but not knowing what Kentucky's weather and soils could bring them, it didn't quite get off the ground. And there was a couple other ones as well. I think the legacy is that I bring a body of knowledge to the industry and that I continue to move the industry forward. I've spent over 10 years on legislative committees and working to move our state laws forward in the alcohol industry. And also, I think a key legacy is that the alcohol industry now has a group hug. The wineries, the distilleries, the meaderies, the cideries, and the craft distilleries. That to me is very important because we've now come together. But it took key leadership in each of those industries and to keep pushing so that we have a group hug and we're all moving forward in Kentucky's alcohol beverage industry, which is a very important industry to the state. For more information on Equus Run Winery, please do visit our website. That's at www.equusrunvineyards.com, and or always feel free to call us here, and that's 859-846-9463. We also, of course, have our social media pages as well, which are always posting our fun content, our events. We do a lot of different events. We have foodie events, music events, theater events, a variety of hospitality events. We're very engaged with supporting our charitable fundraising events here on the property, as well as off-site. And we also are a destination for your fishing, picnicking, kayaking. You can stroll the 38 acres. And our address is 1280 Moores Mill Road, Midway, Kentucky, 40347. My name is Cynthia Bond. I'm the owner of Equus Run Vineyards and Winery, and soon to announce Saddlestone Distillery. I invite you to come visit the vineyard, taste the experience, and sip and stroll. I also would like to thank the opportunity to the Allmen Center of Entrepreneurship at University of Kentucky. What a wonderful organization supporting entrepreneurs and young professionals just getting into the business world and helping them develop their dreams into businesses.